We have a lot of small business owners who really would like to have a full day offsite training, but really the only thing they feel like they can do is go to another conference. And I've got a model for you, a full day training program sample outline that I can take you through that I think will be really helpful. Before we do, make sure to head on over to mybusinessonpurpose.com/healthy. Got a 7-minute, really powerful, healthy business owner assessment that you can take there. So this morning, about 8:17, the final details were settled when Gerrick Taylor looked out over the room filled with Taylor's 41 employees, actually just a couple left, a couple weren't able to come, and was about ready to kick off Taylor's 4th annual full-team offsite training day. Just 4 years ago, he thought he had lost his mind at the idea of closing down all the Taylor's retail locations. The calculation ran through it was steep. You have full-day wages for all of Taylor's employees that day while also posting zero in revenue throughout the entire day. The model in his mind did not make sense on paper, but he knew a larger investment needed to be made, and it was that investment in people, in relationships. Taylor's began almost 20 years ago on the side of a main road in Lexington, South Carolina, when Gerrick received a tractor-trailer load of pine straw from his dad. As a high school teacher and football coach, Gerrick was looking just to make a little extra cash on the side, see if he could help out. State of South Carolina teachers' salaries were not that strong. And his goal was to sell 4 trailer loads of pine straw that summer. The summer ended with over 30 trailer loads being sold by one person, with one phone number, before and after summer football responsibilities. It was a grind, to be sure. After trying to juggle school, coaching, and the reality of an entrepreneur, Gerrick decided to leave teaching and coaching and put all of his time and attention towards growing what would eventually become Taylor's Landscape Supply and Nursery. So for years, Gerrick led a small band of employees with a grinder's spirit, do what needed to be done when it needed to be done. If you run into a problem, cross that bridge when you come to it. And it worked for a while. Over a decade later, Taylor's was becoming what some writers wrote in 1935 over a plane crash, too much plane for one man to fly. Back in 2015, Gerrick went through a process where he made an intentional decision to begin working on his business, taking time to step off the lot, out of a tractor, and sit down to articulate where he wanted to go, a vision, how he wanted to get there, values, and why it was important, our mission. After articulating the purpose of Taylor's, he then began the long, methodical, weightlifting-like process of identifying and building the necessary systems and processes that Taylor's would need to bust through the ceiling and grow. Gerrick realized that people crave structure. Even though we don't always admit it, we crave structure. They also crave repetition and clarity. Taylor's became a hallmark of weekly team meetings, stand-up team huddles, helpful checklist, and accountability. Something deeper was still needed in order to create a glue-like connection among the team. So in 2018, Taylor's held its first ever full day, shut down the business, all get in a room, off-site team training day. It was good. It wasn't life-changing because it didn't need to be. It was not cause for a circus. It was simply good in a very healthy, solid, beneficial way. Gerrick realized that thoughtful, repetitious fundamentals are often more powerful than in the long term than short-term bursts of creative brilliance. Remember that old fable from Aesop? He reminds us, the tortoise kept going slowly and steadily, and after time passed the place where the hare was sleeping, and the hare could not overtake the tortoise in time. Slowly and steadily, year 1, 2, 3. Now year 4. The only magic in a Taylor's training day is this. It happens each year with purpose and on agenda. Your team needs a time to break away from the day-to-day and to be trained together. Other conferences are fine, but not like the value that a business team-only gathering can provide over the course of one full day together with learning, conversation, workshops, meals, maybe a happy hour. So what are the keys to building a great annual offsite? Well, there's 4 things at least, or maybe 5. The first, articulate the purpose of that one-day offsite. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want your team to walk away with? How do you hope they feel, they think, or they act? Whatever comes to mind. Write it down and allow that to determine the next key to developing a great one-day offsite. And that is setting a day on your calendar and drafting a simple agenda. What would the day look like? Look at the flow of your year. Is there a day or time that may be a bit less disruptive for your team? Consider seasons, times, family calendars, and workflows. There's no perfect day, and there will always be conflict. Once you have considered all things, set the day and begin communicating that day and let the team know this is both exciting and mandatory. Client meetings, vendor meetings, all other meetings should be scheduled around this time and this day. And only the most personal conflict should interfere with this day. Wedding, funerals, births, things you really can't have a say over. Your agenda should include a timeline of the day and the major elements of meals, opening and closing sessions, any keynotes, really no more than 2, by the way, and a variety of breakout and workshop opportunities, large or small group discussion times. Again, align your agenda with your original purpose. Allow that to guide the content. You can always bring in third-party voices, speakers, workshop facilitators to help bring a unique perspective, and those are helpful. Also, don't overlook your own team members having a part. Having them speak, lead, and facilitate is a great growth opportunity and leadership opportunity and allows their voice to be heard as well. The third item, what will your budget be? You'll need to have food, location services, learning materials, audiovisual support, speaker honorariums, and travel, team member travel, logistics. Also, what are the non-obvious expenses that the business will shoulder, like time away from work, especially in a retail environment? The fourth element of a healthy offsite, set a schedule for preparation and communication, knowing who will be coordinating what items and when those will be communicated and tracked. Finally, make sure your one-day offsite includes ample time around the table where team members can eat together, laugh together, catch up, and work through a variety of ideas, issues, frustrations, confusions, and dreams. Our team this past year, we actually did a foodie tour, so we made ours a day and a half, and we did a foodie tour. It was a lot of fun. Taylor's full-day offsites are not easy. They're not convenient, and they're not always perfect, but they're good. So plan yours. And while you're at it, head on over to mybusinessonpurpose.com/healthy for our 7-minute business owner health assessment to help you to understand where the current health of your business is.